Morning everybody, just a very quick video just to show you what we've got. A beautiful day today, and again I just took the chance to do just something quickly in the garden because I wasn't going to be able to spend hours here, but I wanted to do something quick. And I transplanted some I planted out the crocuses just over there along the edge of the bed, because those are low growing, so I'll keep them along the edge, and especially there by the acer, that'll look lovely. I've also put my snowdrops out there, and they will spread and fill that area soon as well around the edge. This will always be the edge of the bed, and I'll put low growing stuff and bulbs in the edges so that they're not disturbed so much. The muscari is still not up yet. I mean, they're coming up, but they're not flowering yet, so it won't be long. But in here I've planted a peony. I absolutely adore peonies. I've always wanted one since we had one many years ago. Over 20 years ago we had one in one of our first gardens here, and there it is there. It's got little shoots on, so I'll just keep that covered and protected in case we get a cold snap. And then behind it I've put a marshmallow, so at least this corner has got more, and I will mulch more around here as well as soon as they come up and I can see where they are. And instead of digging down to put them in the ground further, I just put compost on top of what was there, put them on top, more compost, and then put mulch on top and watered it properly before I mulched. So that way it's up higher, because the bed obviously over time, as I keep mulching, will build the soil level. Over here I have put a fennel, because I want it to go to seed now. I'm going to let it flower and go to seed. Because I want the seeds and I want the flowers, because they're perfect for insects. When I dug there, oh my goodness, what a beautiful piece of soil. I'll show you here now. You can see it's dry on top, but you can see already underneath there it's quite moist. Right, but look what happens when I go just a little bit deeper. There's still lots of calendula seeds there, so if I disturb them and bring some to the surface, they'll sprout again. Look at that black, beautiful soil, and look at the amount of worms in there. Can you see the worms? 1, 2, 3. There's loads. Look at all the worms. They're everywhere. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that soil, and it's just beautifully friable in there. Nice, dark, lovely soil underneath. Sorry, wormy. Yeah, lots and lots of worms. So they've been protected from the extreme cold. Look at even tiny worms. Let's cover them up again with some of those calendula seeds spread around on top. And hopefully they still sprout, because I want loads of calendula, because I use them for the petals, both for eating, for making my own hand lotions, and for teas, and for fermenting. So they covered that all up, protect those wormies again. I just wanted to show you that beautiful soil underneath, and that has literally been no dig. There was nothing, as you remember, if you go back to the early videos I did of this front garden beginning of last year, there was nothing beginning of last year, because I only started this last year, I think it was. So it's fully about a year old now, this garden really. There was not even 3 inches of soil, and it was no topsoil. It was just reddish clay with stones in it, and even the grass wasn't growing. There were all sorts of other things, and moss and other plants, because obviously they want to grow where there's bad soil and they want to improve it. So the grass wouldn't even grow. So just by laying on loads of cardboard, and then loads of half-rotted compost from the back garden that hadn't even rotted yet, loads of lawn clippings, hedge clippings, and then I bought in some topsoil, some sand that I mixed in together and spread that out, and then loads and loads and loads of compost. I did have to buy that in because I couldn't make enough, and I did. So I think in total, between the soil, the topsoil, the sand, the topsoil, and the compost, I think we spent about £200 altogether, which we could over many years produce that amount of stuff just by growing and no dig and chop and drop, but I needed to get it up and running fast. So to do that, I bought that in, and since then I've done nothing but chop and drop. and put more plants in, chop and drop, and this is now the result. This soil is now higher than the footpath, and before it was almost a foot lower than the footpath. So it is slowly building soil and growing more soil. And I put in one bulb for giant elephant garlic in there, and I put it in there because I just found it in the back garden, and well, whether it's time of the right time of year or not to put it out, it's out. So there you are. The plants that I transplanted when I backfilled that bed are surviving, so that's okay. That's doing fine. So there you are, making use of a beautiful day. And there are things going to be flowering soon. Like I said, the muscari, the self-heal, the lady's bedstraw doesn't really flower much yet. The crocus are already, they'll be over and done with flowering. The alliums over there, they're going to be flowering soon. All the acer and the aronia berries are going to be putting leaves on soon, so things are filling out. The rhubarb is really shooting up. Tulips are going to be flowering soon. The anemones has been flowering right the way through winter, from autumn, and they're still flowering, so I love those. The honeyberries are putting on leaves and things now, so I really need to figure out what I need to prune out of them, because they're not going to fruit very well. They didn't last year, because the first year I had them in, there was some really nice sizable fruit, but not many because it was a new plant. Last year, much bigger plant, much fewer and tinier fruit. So I'm going to have to figure out what it is I'm supposed to do with that. The chives are coming back right by the rose, and look at all those lovely new growth on the rose. Anemones over there. The lilac seems still alive. I hope it stays alive. So there you are. Just in a few days since I last worked here, even the daylilies have seemed to be sprouting up a lot more than they were just last week, because that's the last time I made that last video that I posted. So in less than a week, the daylilies have seemed to have recovered a bit, just because I've moved stuff out the way for the slugs to hide in. There's still lots of mulch there. Look, there's a snail. See there? I'll just put that over there where the birds can see it, and they can have the snail. But I don't mind the snail so much, even though I don't want them eating my plants, because we don't see that many snails anymore. There's hundreds and hundreds of slugs. You couldn't even count them. But the snails, oh, and they are such beautiful creatures. I absolutely adore them. Look at them. Just the surface, and there's worms there already. Look. Isn't that amazing? Just chop and drop, mulch, mulch, mulch. That's it. No digging, and keeping the soil covered. Keeping the soil covered, protected from too much sunlight and evaporation, too much rain and leaching of nutrients. So there you go. It all counts. The kale is still growing. My kale is finished in the back garden, so they're still going. I'm going to be putting some more out in the garden soon. Aquilegia looking like it wants to flower now, getting ready to put out more plants. There you go. So just a quick catch up there. I think I put some freesia in here as well, next to the alliums. We'll soon find out. There's some mixed in there as well. I think because I planted some bulbs before, they never came up, and then I presumed they weren't going to, and then I put the alliums in. So we'll have different plants coming up together. That's fine. That's okay. I don't know what it is, but we'll soon find out. I know I planted freesia somewhere in this garden. They've never come up yet. So we'll soon find out. Oh, I want to put some flowers around the rose there. I wonder if I should put those primroses in the back garden around here, because I haven't got a chance to do the hanging baskets yet. That has to wait a couple of weeks. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. If the weather's fine tomorrow morning, I'll put the primroses out the front garden as well. All right, lovelies. Time to get going. I'm busy with the garden, with the housework and crafting indoors. Oh, at kale, the Nero. Look at it. New plants all down the sides. Brand new ones. I'm going to feed it and mulch it more and keep it going as long as it will go. And there, look. And these plants were absolutely ravaged by the cabbage whitefly last year. The cabbage white butterfly, sorry. Yeah, can't wait for that rose to climb up this arch. That's gonna be lovely. All right, lovelies, have a good day, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.